Hello, YouTube. What's going on? Mab Investigates here. Where's all my people? My dog's here. I'm here. I got a new microphone and headphones. I need one of you guys to jump in here to show me how it's working. Hey, Fun2Craft, can you hear me? I'm looking like a pro. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, Fun2Craft. Because I got this new stuff, and I don't know if it works or not. You can hear me good. Is the volume good? I'm not sure I can hear what I want to play, though. Hold on. Oh. Let's see. You can hear me. That's good. I think I'm going to show you guys. It's raining like hell outside, and it's flooding the Mab Lab. The Mab Lab is officially flooded. Let's see if I can share a screen.
Hey there, friends. Dave
I can't hear that. So something's wrong. I'm going to have to change back to my other settings because this ain't working. Hey, Army Mom, what's up? I'm officially going to change back to my other settings that I had. Let's see, audio. Go for, we'll keep the microphone. The speakers, we're going to go to, no, that ain't working. Huh. I guess that works. Let's see. Hey, you guys. I'm trying out this new stuff, but I can't get this video. I can't hear the video.
Project, a copyrighted edition for our video channel.
Sucks. What do I got to do? Maybe I have to unplug. Okay. Now let me see if I can hear the damn. I still can't hear it.
Some of you.
So that means I need to go to a different... Now I'm muted. I'm muted now? I should be good now. Speakers. I'll do the display part. I can hear it. All right. Let's see if I can hear it now. Still can't hear the damn thing. What is wrong? What is going on? Let's see.
What do you like to say to the...
Okay, now I can hear it. All right. Am I good now? I got my microphone. I can hear in my headphones. Oh, H. Davis, thanks, buddy. I'm going to try to win that thing. I think I got a okay chance tonight with all you guys in there. Borrow money from your baby, empty the piggy banks, wake up grandma, wake up your grand sister and your pappy, and get some money and buy some eggs to save the mabster. I've been 5th, 4th, and 3rd. I think I've been 3rd twice or 4th twice. Or I know I was 5th the first time. But I've always been in the top 5. So, yeah. So, what the hell happened to Riley Strain is what I want to know. There's some stuff in this case that's not right. And we're going to go over that today. How are you guys doing? Penny Riddle, what's up? H. Davis. You can hear it. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear everything and everything's good. I'm going to start playing this.
This is Huck TV. Well, the chat on the video comments. Now, I'm never going to leave without telling you where I'm going or how I can drown, even though they were...
Okay, here's where it starts.
Well, corners are given a budget. They got to stick to that budget. Right. One drug that is not on that 24 list is called GHB. GHB.
Okay, so there's a list of 24 drugs, or around 24 drugs, that the coroners automatically check for when you die. But one thing is that's not on the list is GHB, the date R drug. And it should be, because it's being used to do all kinds of nefarious crap.
It has been called the date rape drug. It's nasty. And the body, our body, produces it in very minute amount. Well, these parents that did the second autopsy...
Let's speed Dave up a little bit.
...found super high levels of GHB in their son's body. Astronomical levels that weren't picked up on the first autopsy.
So you hear that?
And the body, our body, produces it in very minute amount.
Now, Riley Strain's parents went and got a second autopsy and paid for a second autopsy for their son because they weren't buying the shit that they were selling. And they didn't get the autopsy results from the first autopsy for 3 months. 3 months it took them to do the autopsy on Riley Strain. And they found... Well, I'll let him continue.
Well, these parents that did the second autopsy found super high levels of GHB in their son's body.
There it is.
Astronomical levels that weren't picked up on the first autopsy. And it explained a lot how that person could get into a body of water and drown even though they were great swimmers. If you have super high levels of GHB, it almost makes you comatose. You understand what's happening, but you really can't do much about it. That's why it's a date rape drug. I have been a loud, prolific advocate that coroners add that drug to the 24 list. Nobody listens. I think it's key to what's happening to these young people. And it involves a case I talk about today. I have been very cautious about not coming out early and trying to draw associations where they don't exist. Young man disappears in the downtown area, his body's found later on, coroner does an autopsy and they found out, say it was poisoned, or say he has a bullet wound in his head or something. Well, I would look like an idiot if I came out early and said, yeah, I know what happened. Even though I know what happened, I'm being very cautious. It goes back to these haters that are posting things on our channel right here. Now, this case that we're talking about today involves one of these exact scenarios. Ever since this young man was reported missing, I've been following this case daily.
So was
His name was Riley Strain, 22 years old, missing March 8th, 2024 from Nashville, Tennessee. He's a student at the University of Missouri, majoring in business and finance. Now, in this book, I talk about how
you guys should check out Dave Politis, Missing 411. He's lots of cool. He's written some books, and if you haven't watched Missing 411, what is it called? It's the one where the UFO connection. Missing 411, the UFO connection. You got to see that movie. It's really compelling.
Number of cities in the U.S. and Canada have rivers flowing through them, and nobody disappears. But there's a select few that do have rivers that flow through them where a lot of young people disappear. Nashville was not one of those cities on my list that I'd keep an eye on. It will be now. Now, Riley was from Springfield, Missouri. That's where his parents lived, his mom and his stepdad. On that March 8th weekend, he was a member of a fraternity. And every year the fraternity has like a spring formal, and they go to Nashville every year, party up. The members were staying at a place called the Tempo Hotel in downtown. So you've got this fraternity of young men partying in this hotel. A lot of times young people like to drink in the hotel room because it's a cheaper way to get.
Yeah, so they're saying they drank a lot in the hotel before they went to the bar, because I think Riley only ordered one drink at Luke's bar or whatever it is, and a couple glasses of water, and was kicked out for something about the bill or something.
High without drinking all in the bar. So you stay in the hotel room, get a little buzz going, go to the bar, start socializing. Well, Riley's friends said that before they left for the bar, he had been drinking. Well, the group goes to Luke Bryan's bar in downtown Nashville, a little less than a mile from the hotel, and Riley served one alcoholic beverage and 2 glasses of water.
That's it. One alcoholic beverage and 2 glasses of water is all he had there.
First, he was cut off.
He was cut off after one drink.
And then he was escorted out of the bar.
So in my opinion, that one drink could have possibly contained GHB, or one of those 2 glasses of water. So somehow, and GHB goes out of your body really quick, so it's metabolized rather quickly. So 3 months later, they did a second autopsy, and there was astronomical levels of GHB found.
Bouncers. Nothing bad happened. He was just walked out. And one of Riley's friends walked with him down the stairs of the restaurant. His friend says that Riley tells him he's going to go back to the hotel. His friend, at this point, should have walked him back to the hotel. Now I'm going to stop for a second. I'm not placing blame on the friend. I know a lot of young people watch. And here's my guidance. When you go out drinking, you have a responsibility not to yourself, not just to yourself, but to your friends and peers.
Yeah.
Morally, we're responsible to do what we can to save a life.
Yeah, when we had a crew of probably 25 or 30 friends that all knew each other, that all partied all the time together, that went to the same bar after the concerts. We had season tickets to Shoreline Amphitheater, so we were like the fourth row in the front in every concert because we had season passes, and we all had backstage passes too because we knew one of the bouncers or one of the security guys, Larry Van Schoik. We knew him, and he would get us backstage all the time. I met Jerry Garcia back there. It was cool.
Life to take care of each other. We have to. And the number of cases in this book and the number of cases I have talked to you about over the years are astronomical. And we have to start taking care of each other. Obviously, Riley appeared intoxicated to some people at that bar. That's why he was cut off. That's why he was sent. His friend went with him, saw he was in a bad place. Right thing would have, hindsight's always 20/20. Right thing would have been.
Yeah, he should have been walked back to the hotel and made sure he got there safe. We had a friend that got in a fight with this old lady, and they were both drinking. We were all drinking. He jumped on his motorcycle and was going to the after party and crashed because he was pissed and he was driving too fast and died. And that was sucked. Our whole group of friends were shocked at that.
Walk him to the hotel room. Get him in his room. Tell him to stay there. That would have been the right thing. But that's not what happened. Riley says he's going back to the hotel. Friend goes back up to the bar. And Riley goes and he starts walking in a direction almost parallel to the hotel.
And the way he was walking in those videos wasn't like a normal intoxicated person. An intoxicated person, is like swaying and unbalanced and kind of doesn't know what they're doing. Hey, Shauna, what's up? You're here. Good to see you, sweetheart. But a normal drunk person does not have a jerky gait. Riley seemed to have problems in the one video controlling his legs. Not like a normal drunk, but like something else was in him, like a muscle relaxer type of thing or something.
At 9:46 that night, Riley's caught on a camera walking down a street with a building in the background, and he appears to be having trouble controlling his gait, his walk. Now, he was nowhere near the hotel at this point, but he was a little less than a mile away. 6 minutes later, Nashville police officer on the street, wearing a body cam, catches Riley on his body cam near First Avenue and Gay Street. On the camera, Riley appears to be walking pretty good. Nothing obviously wrong. The police officer looks at Riley and goes, "Hey, how are you? How you doing?" Riley says, "I'm good, how are you?"
But I always remember, like, if I was drinking, was drunk, or whatever, like if I saw a cop or had to interact with a police officer, I could straighten up just with adrenaline and look and appear normal.
That exchange took place 0.7 miles from the bar, less than a mile. Now, it was never stated what time his friends came back from the bar to the hotel, but you can bet it was probably very early in the morning. But his friends said that they got back, they started to look around, couldn't find Riley. Some of his friends went out in the street and looked, couldn't find him.
Nope.
They go to sleep, they wake up the next morning, Riley's still not there, so they start looking for him some more in the downtown area. They can't find him. And now, he starts to become sober, and reality starts to kick in. Houston, we've got a problem. At 1:40 that day, his friends call Nashville PD and report Riley missing.
So, Shauna, you were pretty involved in this case. What We haven't really covered that much so far. We just got to the point where they did the second. Hey, Rhonda, what's up? Good to see you. Shauna, we were just talking about the second autopsy that the parents funded, and after the first autopsy that took 3 months to get, and astronomical levels of GHB, the R drug, were found in his system. And that was never reported on the first autopsy because they don't check for that normally, which they should be. That should be added to the list, in my opinion.
Just before doing that, they called Riley's parents and told them that he is missing. Now let's understand something. Riley's relationship with his mom was mega close.
Yeah, they were close.
Sometimes they talked multiple times in the day. A day rarely went by when they didn't talk. There's a great amount of love between those two. Well, the fraternity brothers told the parents what happened, and within 30 minutes, Riley's mom and stepdad were on their way to Nashville. She tried calling him by phone, no answer, left a message, no response. She knew right away something was really wrong. At about 10 o'clock that night, Riley's parents arrive in Nashville and meet with the fraternity brothers. They'd been searching, they couldn't find anybody, couldn't find Riley. Following day, Riley's parents meet with Nashville Police Department. Nashville later says that they'll fly a helicopter up and down the Cumberland River, see what they can find, and around the frontage area where Riley was last seen by the police officer. They also agreed to ping his cell phone. He was last seen wearing a button-type shirt, long pants with a belt,
I think it was that.
and square-toe cowboy boots.
Wasn't it that black shirt with the white patch, Shauna? Wasn't that the shirt? The black shirt with the white patch? I think it was that. I do have an email address, and it's mabinvestigates@gmail.com. Pretty easy. Just mabinvestigates@gmail.com. Email me.
Riley's disappearance made huge news. Nobody ever came forward in Nashville claiming they saw anyone fall into the river. Nobody having a fight down near the river. Nothing like that.
You got to remember, too, that where all the bars are and stuff, it looks pretty good. But as soon as you get on that frontage street of the river, the homeless encampments cover that bank of the river pretty thickly.
But that river area is unusual because there's a lot of homeless
Allegedly.
people down there and a lot of garbage.
Everything said here is alleged. All right. The chatters and myself are only speculating. We are not telling you facts. We just are speculating on what we believe happened or didn't happen.
Even though Nashville downtown is pristine and nice and well patrolled, that area along the river has a lot of questionable things. It was also confusing because one video showed Riley walking essentially okay, and the earlier video shows him almost staggering, and the difference is 6 minutes between the two, so it doesn't quite make sense.
I don't know how GHB acts in the body, how long it takes to take effect, or what. But that jerky movement, I wonder if I could find that video. Let me see if I can find it while I'm talking.
Now, the police department decides that they're going to ping the phone. They ping the phone, and it was located in a public square park near the Cumberland River, very close to the exchange between Riley and the police officer. Now, the video cam shows Riley having this short exchange with the police officer. He goes one way, Riley goes the other. So there was nothing more to that. The parents got a group called the Cajun Navy to help them out with the search. They also got some other search and rescue people to comb the river area, the river bank, downtown, put flyers up everywhere. Nashville police said they would not put divers in the river. Cumberland River. It goes through.
Let's see if we
Nashville.
can,
First, this picture of Riley.
Yeah, I thought that was the shirt he was wearing.
Clean cut kid, keeping his nose to the grindstone, going out with frat brothers drinking. Typical college night. Nothing real unusual about that. One thing that people knew about Riley, he wore a size 15 shoe.
15.
Size 15 boots. Those are pretty big boots.
That's huge.
And they knew he was wearing boots that night.
Yes, he
and
was
a
wearing that
pair of long
half
pants
black
with a
and
belt
half white
buckle.
shirt.
Keep that in mind. So the momentum keeps building as the parents keep making public statements, getting in front of the public eye.
Let's see if we can see these videos of him walking real quick. La 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 la. No, that's not what I want to do. Let's check this out.
Into what happened to Riley Strain is now closed. It was determined that he died by accidental drowning, but for the first time here you see video of Riley Strain walking unsteadily down the stairs. Strain walking unsteadily down.
Let's see that.
Of Riley Strain past March. For the first time here you see video of Riley Strain walking unsteadily down the stairs with a security guard who is escorting him out of Luke Bryan's bar. He
looks pretty shaky there, and he's looking at his phone at the same time.
It was the evening of March 8th, and Strain,
he looks like he's going, what the hell are you doing?
a 22-year-old student from Missouri, suddenly found himself on his own, alone,
He's
on
running.
Lower Broad
and
in
slams
Nashville.
into that. I remember that now. Let's look at that again.
Lower Broad in Nashville, under the influence and in an unfamiliar city. He disappeared, and 2 weeks later, his body was pulled from the Cumberland River.
My company works on the river.
Your city. He disappeared. Suddenly found himself on his own, alone, on crowded Lower
Why the
Broad
hell
in
was he
Nashville,
running, and what
under
was he
the
running
influence
from?
and in an unfamiliar city. He disappeared, and 2 weeks later, his body was pulled from the Cumberland River.
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
There have been questions about what led Strain to be kicked out of the bar, and where were the fraternity brothers who traveled with him to Nashville. This video was obtained from the investigative file. Here you see Strain following a friend in the crowded bar over to a table with the others. They sit for a while, and then Strain follows a friend up to the bar.
I'm going to try to see
It is
this better.
at about this time security sends out this alert warning that Strain follows a friend up to the bar.
I can't catch this. For a
Are
second.
over to a table with the others. They sit for a while, and then Strain
There's Strain.
follows a friend up to the bar. It is
him
at
there.
about this time security sends out this alert warning that Strain was verbally aggressive with staff. Not long after that, an employee points Strain out to a security guard who then goes to talk to him. After a few minutes of conversation, you see Strain's friend trying to get Strain to go back to the table with the others, but he stays. After more talking, the security guard then moves to lead Strain out of the bar, and it appears...
What was he saying at that point? What was he arguing about? Somebody put something in my drink. What happened? I don't know. I guess they said it was an argument over a tab
The
or
friend
something. But
in the-
a tab for one drink and 2 waters? I don't get that.
backwards baseball hat turns to go tell the others. And that brings us back to the video of the stairway where Strain is led down by the security guard and then out of the bar. By the time Strain's fraternity brothers made it down to try to find him, he was gone. The investigation found no wrongdoing on behalf of the bar, and
One of those guys, his friend, should have been with him, especially if he got kicked out of a bar. I mean, come on, man. You guys are frat brothers, for God's sake. You just let one of your own do that?
the video does not raise any new questions. The bottom line, the
Killing
case is
time,
closed.
what's up?
The death was ruled an accident. No foul play. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Okay, that's that. That's something I want to play next. But let's share this screen here. Killing time. What is my brother or sister? I can't always remember. Let's share the back of the screen for this guy.
Exactly what you have to do. You have to be your own best advocate on these cases. So Riley disappears on March 8th, a little more than a week later, March 17th. Riley's case was all over social media. 2 female social media influencers were live streaming near the Cumberland River, near the area on Gay Street and the park where Riley was last seen by the police officers. And as they were live streaming, and they're looking for evidence, they're just basically publicizing this case, they find Riley's bank card.
How did that happen? How did his bank card get out of his wallet if he was carrying it? Yeah. Now, if you're just going bar hopping and all you really need is your license and your bank card, right, or a credit card or cash. You don't need your whole wallet because, pickpockets and stuff. But I don't see them altering, just carrying their wallet like a regular person, right? So how the hell did his bank card get out of his wallet and onto the ground? That's a question.
They can't believe they found it. They were super excited.
Cable 18.
And about 100 yards away from them at that time, there were 2 Nashville PD canine officers that were working the area. They were brought over. They showed them the card. And later, the card was given to Riley's parents, and they confirmed that was Riley's bank card.
Ashley, in your opinion, it was the employee's way of getting them out on the street. These people work in groups. They do. I agree. It's like, they roofied him. They used to call it roofie. I got roofied, They would do that to people back in the day, like boat captains, back in the, early days, 1700s. They would drug people and then force them to be workers on their boat. Yeah, I agree. They should have called the cops. Exactly, Kelly. It's good to see you, Kelly. I'm sorry I'm late, but who is this person? This person is David Politis, missing 411. You got to go check him out, sub him up, because it's a good channel. He looks into strange cases of disappearances, of people that disappear. Like you go on a hike, there's 5 of you. The last one in line falls a little bit behind. Next thing you know, he freaking just disappears. And then they find him later with, all their clothes folded up neatly on a rock in the middle of a river or some crazy shit like that. You love this guy's channel. Hey, Sage, what's up? Good to see you, sweetie. So, Miss Shelley's jewelry. Good to see you, sweet. Followed this case. My son doesn't live far from there. A couple of times. 31, very responsible. Yeah, it always worries me too. Hey, Kelly. It's good to see you. Can-Am Missing Project. You're right. Go sub them up. And Dave, don't strike me. I've been following you for years.
I thought about this real hard. Let's just say. Police want you to believe Riley's drunk. He walks over to the river, falls in, drowns, gets washed around, streaming, blah, blah, blah. That's what they want you to believe. The bank card. Why would that?
Let me just tell you, this river, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but this river is like a slow-moving river. It's not, there's no rapids. It's a slow-moving river, okay? I think the police said they weren't going to put divers in because it was too dangerous, but narked divers dove on that site and said it was just a gentle current, right? So that's weird.
That have been laying on the ground.
Cumberland
Many
River.
times, young people go out to water to go drinking. You take your debit card and your ID. You gotta have your ID, otherwise you're not gonna be able to get in these establishments. Sometimes you leave your wallet in your room, sometimes you don't. I don't know if Riley did or didn't have the wallet. But why would that card be outside of his pocket? There have been other scenes of missing people where it's almost as though there's change laying on the ground, a comb, Everything from your pocket is laying on the ground. It's almost like this person was getting turned upside down and shaken. Why would the card be on the ground? That's a hard one for me to understand.
Me too.
Well, the searches keep going. Parents get frustrated. There's really no new news. And the public still has Riley in the front scope of their eyes. March 22nd. A worker on the Cumberland River, 8 miles west of downtown Nashville, sees something in the water that to him looks like a body. Calls the police, and they recover the body. This is 2 weeks after Riley vanishes. They found Riley.
My question is, what was the state of the body? How long had it been in the river? They should have been able to come up with the time of death, but I don't think they did.
Now here is a real perplexing part of the story. They found him wearing the shirt that he was seen in by the police, wearing his Apple Watch, wearing his boxer shorts, but no boots, no pants, no belt.
All right, that is cray. That is sus. Because I don't know if you've ever jumped in a river with jeans on, but they cling to you like a damn rubber glove. It is very difficult to pull wet pants off of your body, especially if you got cowboy boots on. I have to physically, it takes a pretty damn good effort for me to take my boots off just regular without being in the water. And my pants, it's like with wet pants, I just don't see him. I do not see the river causing that at all. Something else happened.
When I heard that, I'm sorry. That's a hard one. That's a hard one to really accept. March 23rd, the coroner actually came out with a very early autopsy, very few details. They said there were no signs of violence to the body. They were waiting for a chemical analysis, and they would make a comment later. 3 months later,
3 months.
full autopsy results come out by the coroner.
What the hell is with that? 3 months. It's only a
And they state that Riley's blood alcohol level was 0.228, almost 3 times the legal limit for driving. Well, a young person having that level of alcohol in their system, I'm surprised he was even walking. I'm surprised he could even talk. Usually, you get double or around that 0.2 level of a person who has very little fat content and is that young and not used to drinking that much.
Okay, I just
Hard
looked
to
something
believe.
up. Hold on, you guys.
So the question is, was that his blood alcohol level when he...
Okay. A 228 blood alcohol level. How bad is a 2.8 alcohol level? This percentage, you may experience confusion, vomiting, and drowsiness. Blood alcohol level of 0.30 to 0.40, you're likely to have alcohol poisoning, a life-threatening condition, and experience loss of consciousness. So, a 0.228 is pretty much a 3.0, especially it would have fallen by the time they checked it. And I don't think a young kid like that has a high tolerance for alcohol. How many drinks is that? That's like, if you're 100 pounds, that would be 25 drinks in 1 hour, some shit. Or 5, I can't tell. Oh, I see. Yeah. Anyway, that's near alcohol poisoning level. And for him to be walking around...
He went in the river, or did something else happen? I don't know. Riley's parents came up with, had a second autopsy done. They didn't like the results of the first. Essentially the same thing, but what neither autopsy released was the
Right,
date
Tony.
and the time of the death. That's important. What if the date and the time of the death was 2 days before they found the body? Well, where was he then?
Good question. Good question. The GHB in his body in astronomical levels, the high alcohol content, and no time of death. Now they have this down to a science. Body farms, they study this. They can tell how long you've been dead, pretty close to the day, for sure the day, or sometimes the hour.
That's what's not being said. Now, maybe it was in some report that was released somewhere and I missed it. I have no idea. Now, there's still some reporters out there that like to actually do investigative journalism. And there were a few. At the University of Tennessee, they have something called the body farm. I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of this, but
Yep.
they take bodies and they put them in different, they have an area of a forest, some in the sun, some not in the sun, some around water, some out of the water, some in water, some out of water. And the idea is to develop a systematic understanding of how fast the body deteriorates, decomposition, how the body reacts to sun, water, etc.
So what was the time of death of Riley Strain? Was it the day he left Luke's bar, or was it later? Big question that's not answered and should have been.
Well, Dr. Bill Bass is in charge of the body farm at the University of Tennessee. He's a forensic anthropologist. If there was anybody to comment on Riley, this would have been the case. And they went to him. And he was interviewed by multiple news sources. And they asked him, they said, well, what about Riley's body being in the Cumberland River? Well, let's talk about the Cumberland River for a minute. This is not a river that has big waterfalls,
That's right.
tons of white water, fast-moving, rough, turbulent. It's not like that.
Very slow.
It's very smooth, somewhat slow as
Carmela
it goes
Green.
through
See
Nashville.
ya, Carmela.
That's what Dr. Bass said. He says it's unusual if you fall into a river and the river gets your pants off.
No way.
He said it is unlikely they came off in that river.
Right. Or the boots.
And then he said no, the pants would not come off by themselves. That's what Dr. Bill Bass said, not me.
This is the guy that runs the body farm, all right? Those pants would not come off by themselves. So something happened before he went into the water with astronomical levels of GHB in his system. Now, we don't know if that was from Luke's bar or he was partying with some homeless dude and somebody did that to him, but somebody got him to drink something that contained very high levels of GHB, the date RAPE drug. And for what reason, we don't know. Weird videos on the black web and then get rid of them. I don't know.
Even though that's what I was thinking. That's what he said. So, if the river didn't take off his pants, who took off his pants? Remember, Riley was wearing boots, square-toed cowboy boots. Now, I'm just speaking of me. To get my boots off, you really have to work at it. I mean, they don't come off easy. They're tight. They're designed to fit that way. And Riley was wearing a belt that held his pants up. He wasn't wearing pants like you see some people where they hang down in the middle of their butt. No.
He wasn't like a gangbanger walking with his pants. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen is people wearing their pants halfway down their ass. And that's supposed to be some hood cool thing. It's you look like an idiot, all right?
Is hung like a normal person's and the belt kept them on. They didn't hang low. So what do you make of that? What I make of it,
Something happened to him.
very suspicious. This is a map I made
Uh-oh, he's pulling the gray U's on us. Going to map boy.
of the scenario that played out in Nashville the night Riley disappeared. So right here was the Tempo Hotel where the boys were staying at. They walk down here on Broadway, walk about 8 blocks, and they get to Brian's bar.
Pretty
Supposedly
close to
Riley
the
had
river.
already been drinking. He gets ejected from the bar. He tells his friend, okay, I'm going to walk back to the hotel straight from here. He doesn't. Riley goes down here, and he walks along the street down to Gay Street. This is First and Gay. This is where
Gay
that police video of where the policeman saw him
And
and talked to him, right here.
And he didn't look.
And then, right near the river, is where his credit card was found, right over here. This is the Cumberland River.
And there must be a bridge there.
So here
And there must be
is
something
where everything that took place that night happened.
going on under that bridge.
What can you make of that? I don't think that Riley made a mistake of not going back to the hotel. I think he knew the direction. For some reason, he just didn't want to go back. So the profile in Missing 411 is sobering coincidence. White male adult, under 35. College or university educated. Drinking alcohol. No witnesses on the person leaving the location. No witnesses to ever them getting into water.
Anybody heard of Lady Bird Lake in Texas? There's a lake in Texas where hundreds of people have been found in the water, deceased. And it's bizarre.
Or being in a fight. Never any tests for GHB by the typical coroner. Riley's parents were adamant that something else happened. How could I disagree? I think something else happened.
Something else did happen.
Riley's case would fit perfectly in our book. In this book, I wrote about cases in the USA and 4 other countries. They all match. They're all the same. I'm very, very saddened for Riley's parents. They lost a good young man. I hope that they can find their answers. I greatly appreciate you being here. Please remember, share this on your social media.
Sub them up, you guys. It's a good channel.
Be safe. Be kind to others. Really, be kind. It costs nothing. Smile. Open doors. Play us out. Hey there, friends. Hey, Pius.
All right. So, what the hell? Same with the Chicago. Lady Bird is a killer lake. Exactly. Crazy. Something new too. Let's show this. Let's check this out. But I believe something nefarious happened to Riley, because you don't get. The river is not going to take your jeans and your boots off. Somebody did that before he went into the water. I love when he investigates UFOs too. I love that. Have you seen the movie 401, The UFO Connection? It's awesome. Thanks, Jenna. Let's check this out.
1 year after the University of Missouri student drowned while attending his fraternity's formal in Nashville, Riley's family has filed a lawsuit against the Delta Chi fraternity as well as individual members of the school's chapter. In the wrongful death suit obtained by E! News, Riley's family accuses the fraternity and many of its members of negligence and vicarious liability.
So wow, so the parents are suing the fraternity and individuals, his friends, for not taking care of them. I'm not too sure if I support that or not, because all of them are adults. We have free will, and we can make our own damn decisions. So they're suing.
Including that the organization instills, quote, a code into its fraternity members that encourage or taught fraternity, quote, brothers to abandon one another instead of helping one another. The suit chronicles the alleged events surrounding Riley's March 2024 disappearance in Nashville, Tennessee, including that the buses carrying the fraternity brothers and their guests to the formal held beverages containing more than 15% alcohol by volume, which is prohibited in, quote, the prevention education component of Delta Chi's policies and procedures.
Wow.
The suit also discusses the decision of Riley's fraternity brothers to allow him to walk home to the hotel by himself after being kicked out of a bar.
So I've never been in a fraternity, but it sounds like there's rules and shit, right? We're supposed to take care of one another and watch out for one another and have each other's backs, I would imagine.
Reading, when a bar kicked Riley out, Riley's fraternity brothers had two options. One, go with Riley, make sure he was safe, and take care of him. Or two, continue to party. Riley's Delta Chi brothers chose to continue partying. The family also accuses the fraternity brothers of failing to act after realizing their son had gone missing, claiming Riley's roommate
Wow.
for the night saw that Riley was not in the room and did nothing. There was no search, no panic, and no one called 911 to report that Riley had failed to make the 12-minute walk back to the hotel in over 3 hours. The fraternity brothers did not even think to call Riley's parents. They simply got ready for bed and went to sleep. Riley's family is seeking a jury trial and unspecified damages, as well as compensation for the pain and suffering they say Riley experienced before his death at 22. E! News has reached out to Delta Chi for comment, but has not yet heard back.
Delta Chi. What I would be interested to see what the code of ethics, whatever they have, they must have something, you know, that they go by, some set of rules or set of principles that you adhere to when you're in a fraternity. That's what fraternities are all about.
Not yet heard back. We also did not receive a comment from the University of Missouri. Riley disappeared in the evening of March 8, 2024, though his body wasn't discovered in Nashville's Cumberland River until 14 days later.
So 14 days, and they never disclosed when he died. Was it 14 days ago, or was it 7 days ago, or was it 2 days ago?
His official cause of death was attributed to drowning and ethanol intoxication, also known as alcohol poisoning, with the manner cited as accidental per an autopsy report obtained by TMZ.
What do you guys think about that? Crazy, eh? They're looking for someone to blame. Yeah. So Sebastian Rogers would have never, that case would have never blown up like it did without the Riley Strain case, because everybody was, that happened right after Riley Strain, and everybody flocked to Hendersonville to cover that. It's Sigma Chi, not Delta Chi. Really? Shauna, you really must have been into this case. You know it all. This has always bugged me about this Riley Strain case. One was the way he was walking. I could tell because I've been around a lot of druggies in my life. And I was never, you know, well, how can I say this? I was in business half of my life, and it was that kind of business, you know. So I have a lot of experience with people that are on drugs. And when I saw a particular video of Riley Strain, the way he was jerky, legs were kind of jerking, I knew there was something off. It wasn't just alcohol. So I don't think they're going to get anything from the lawsuit either. I mean, suing individuals for not, you know, everybody has free will, you know. I think he was drugged, Carmela. Drugged and killed for what? His money? How cheap is life these days? Why is life worth $15? Why is life worth $25? How has it gotten to the point where life is a $5 deal? I mean, come on, man. Money, especially if you're homeless. When you're homeless, man, let me tell you, there's a homeless... California has one of the biggest homeless populations in the freaking planet. It's a what I call the homeless industrial complex. Is what they have here. They spend billions on homelessness. And the point of it all is to make money. You said it on another channel we are both members of today. Locals have been talking about Sebastian for almost a year, but they're still talking about Riley. Locals haven't been talking about Sebastian for almost a year. I think they have been, haven't they? I'm not getting that message, Shauna. Mr. Michigan, what's up, man? What amazes me in the Riley Strain case is how no one on that street or in the bar stopped him and asked if he was okay. Well, the cop said, "What's up?" You know. Yeah, if he was a minor on a field trip, yes, the lawsuit would be appropriate, but not. I don't think this will result in anything but a bunch of lawyers making money. That's what they do. But in California, we have what's called the homelessness industrial complex, where the government spends billions of dollars and they give grants to all these NGOs, non-governmental organizations that are supposed to be helping homeless people. And the whole system, the industrial complex, cannot function if there are no homeless people. So there is no motive to lessen homelessness. The only motive is to make more people homeless. I mean, I go down to Santa Cruz down here by the San Lorenzo River, and they have a homeless, place down there, which is where they go to get food and whatever. And like the homeless population in Santa Cruz in particular, people come from all over the world to be homeless in California because of the weather. It does not freeze here. You can sleep outside with a freaking sleeping bag year round and no problem. And you can get money. They put you on freaking Medicare, Medicaid, whatever. Lots of stuff you can get being homeless. And most of it in Santa Cruz is not. It's mostly a lot of the people that are homeless down there. They do it. It's a lifestyle that they choose to have. It's not that they, couldn't pay their rent one day. And yeah, mental health is a big one. Open up for the mental homeless. Yeah. But homelessness in California is a huge problem, and they're not doing anything to solve it. They're pumping a bunch of money into it, so a bunch of NGOs can make a hell of a ton of money, and nothing gets done. And they're really incentivized to keep the drug zombies on the street because they make money by doing it. No one talks about Sebastian, but they still talk about Riley. I thought it was the other way around. You're driving and voice to text, both local to Sebastian and Riley cases. TikToker on this planet was down there searching for Riley. Yeah, I remember that. No one talks about Sebastian, but they still talk about Riley. I haven't heard about Riley until I just did this live. We spend enough on homelessness in California to freaking rent every homeless person an apartment and give them a car and pay for their gas. That's how much we spend on homelessness. But they don't do that. They just suck up the money and 3-figure salaries, and they don't do a damn thing. Maybe I'll look into that and find out what the hell's going on over there in Santa Cruz. But I got to show you my next project. It's raining in California. There's my fireplace. I'm going to make it big and go show you guys. Let's see. I think I know how to do this. And then go like, so how do I do that? I don't know if if they changed. Did they change something? No. Used to be able to click on this. Oh, I see. There. I'm going to show you what's going on. Hold on. What's up, fam? What's up, crew? What's up, Mampsters? Raining out. Let me go show you how it's flooding the map lab. Get a little feedback from in there. I'm usually out here working on something today, but today, this is what I got. Looks like Damn Lake. I think I'm going to come out here and teach myself how to TIG weld. My old Mab Lab. I'm getting too many tools. I need another building. I'm going to put another building on this slab right here. This would be another building right here with a door on that side and this side, so I can still, because I got up on that hill, the big flat spot up there with $1 million view. And a friend of mine said if I find a mobile home or not a mobile home, but like one of those nice trailers, he would use his crane. He'd pick it up and set it up there. I could rent it out for $3,000 a month. And Mrs. Mab could take some time or only work 3 days a week or something. He only works 4 days now, but this is my next project. I started doing it, and then I stopped right here because I had to plan the whole bottom out. But I have the plan on what I'm going to do. I'm going to bolt steel to this thing, and the steel's going to come out, and there's going to be a big thing so where you can sit on it, you know, with your back to the fireplace and be all warm and cozy. But anyway, here, let me just set this here and then I'll kick myself. Look at this counter that I designed. This is awesome. This kitchen is freaking awesome. Look at it. Just look at it. I did this tile on my birthday. I forget which, it was year, probably 2022. I bought this 25 years ago. And what I put, if you look under here, you can see that there's a lot of room under there. You can sit your full leg under it. And the only way I could, they said, yeah, you can't do that. They said, we can't build it like that because the granite will break. So, see that steel in there? I made that steel and I routed out the plywood and was able to make an overhang big enough so that I was comfortable with it. The old doggy. Lucas. Where am I? Oh, there I am. I got a big fat dog here. Let's kick from studio. One Feather, what's up? Yeah, it's gonna be a really nice hearth. Hey, Loves Dan, good to see you. Good to see you guys. I thought tonight was Turtle Island. I think it is. And then maybe next Tuesday will be the last one. I'm not sure. I thought he was going to kick more than one person last time. I was hoping they were going to kick 3. Jamie K, what's up? Yeah, go replay. It's, you know, I think it's pretty good because I did it. Anyway, you guys, what time is it in Cali, California? It's 4 o'clock. I got to do some chores. I usually swiffer up a complete dog. Look at this. Oh, hold on. You can see the doggy. You can see. It's a big fat dog. He sticks his head between my legs, and that's what I stick my fingers in his ears, and he goes, oh. He is so big. I wake up in the morning, and he's You're adopting me as a sister from another mister. That's pretty good. I've never heard that. Oh, he's older too. Yeah, he's doing the winters. He said at 7 o'clock he was doing the winters, and he usually has. Well, it's probably 7 o'clock his time. He's doing the winters, and then at 9:30 his time, he's doing Turtle Island, I believe. Anywho, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, I gotta check this out. I got a green screen, but I put it up and it's not working, so I got to figure it out. Yeah, labs. Just bury him between my legs. He loves it. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging with me. Let's kick some ass on Turtle Island. I need to win at least one time. I've been at it for 5 seasons. I came in the middle of season 1, and then in season 2 I started being a contestant. I've been on every single show. Yeah. Anyway, time for me to get out of here and do some chores before Mrs. Mab comes home. So, peace. And if nobody else loves you, the Mabster loves you. Nobody owns that. Peace.